Hello again, friends. Have you ever wanted to play a deck that removes any and all aspect of happiness and joy from Buddy Fight? Have you ever been like, dude, you've taken long enough, it's my turn now? Have you ever been like, I'm too lazy to read what your cards do, so they no longer have effects? Well, this just might be the deck for you. This deck is called Great Spell Stars. This deck uses the Great Spell engine to draw additional cards, fill the drop zone up for Starfall Night, and use Rune Staff to give us extra gauge and negate the life costs of our great spells. The deck also utilizes the core of a star build, using both versions of Astraeus to force your opponent to attack your center while you damage them over time and draw free cards. Additionally, when they do attack your center, you can cast Tetra Vibrion to protect it and gain gauge. After your opponent's first attack for the turn, you may also cast Great Spell Weiterstadt to end their battle phase right after. This means that protecting or reviving your Astraeus in the center can lead to a 2-ping turn in which you only had to expend Weiterstadt and your Vibrion or Starfall to accomplish. Since you draw, charge and draw, then draw 2 more cards after this, you get to continue to hit all of the key cards of your deck. Essentially, when you hit your setup, burn is the only thing that can really kill you. While the deck does need setup, meaning that it loses to stupid high damage rushes like Knights, and it needs all of its cards to stay on the board, meaning that it can lose out to Magic World, which can bounce Astraeus with Magical Goodbye, it does have a ton of solid matchups. Wall decks cannot wall against it because they have no effects. Soul decks have no soul against it because they have no soul. Set decks have no effects against it because all of those effects have become negated. The deck simply denies your opponent as much of their gameplay as it possibly can. It is usually fighting against itself, however, and its own moderate level of consistency. Don't get me wrong, this deck is not inconsistent, it's just not super consistent either. Most games that you win, your opponent can do absolutely nothing to stop you. Most games that you lose, you would have lost regardless. All in all, the deck is absurd just for doing what it does. If you want to give someone a bad time, just whip this out. Many of the games that I win, I end up getting dropped to like 2 life, and they just cannot end the game against me. You get so much advantage with all of the free card draw and all of the free gauge. The cogs of the deck work really well together also. I wouldn't say that it's as strong as other variations of stars necessarily, but it is a nice build to play around with. I hope you guys like the video, or at least don't hate me too much for making it. Have a good one.